Hi, welcome to Let's Have a Yarn about polyvagal theory, the basics. I've recently become aware of polyvagal theory and its implications for the way we understand and deal with stress and trauma in our lives. The Kids OT has actually been the one who introduced it to me formally and helped me to understand where to start researching it for myself. But I think a lot of counsellors and OTs and other medical professionals actually use this theory these days to actually help them as they work with people in dealing with stress and trauma. This topic is quite large, and I have by no means got a complete understanding of it or anything, but I have enough understanding, I think, to actually be able to be of assistance to both me and my family, and you and yours, hopefully. So we'll probably do this over a couple of videos, maybe even 3, I'm not sure, because I don't want to make them too long. But I really hope that this will help you to better understand some of the behaviours that may go on for you or your family members or your loved ones, and how to actually help and intervene in those as well. This video is really just an introduction to polyvagal theory, and really we're going to just look at the basics and the structures behind it, so our nervous systems and how that's all set out, and the role that the vagus nerve plays in that, and where its position in that, and the very basic premise of polyvagal theory. We'll have a little bit of a more in-depth look at it in future videos. So let's get to it. Polyvagal theory was developed by Porges. It was first presented in 1994, and since then it has provided us with a different way of understanding our physiological reactions to trauma and stress. The theory centres around the vagus nerve, which is the 10th cranial nerve and also the longest one in the body. It is a paired nerve in that there is one vagus nerve for each side of the body, yet it is usually referred to in the singular. The vagus nerve is part of the autonomic nervous system. Let's have a very brief look at how the nervous system is categorised to give us a better idea of what we are talking about. Firstly, the nervous system is divided into 2 major sections: the central nervous system, which involves the brain and spinal cord only, and the peripheral nervous system, which is essentially everything else. The peripheral nervous system is further divided into the sensory somatic nervous system, which involves the cranial and spinal nerves, and the autonomic nervous system, which is responsible for monitoring and regulating the body's internal environment. Basically, the autonomic nervous system is the communication link between the central nervous system and the body's organs. It controls bodily functions without conscious thought, such as breathing, heart rate, and digestion. Finally, the autonomic nervous system is divided into 2 sections: the sympathetic nervous system and the parasympathetic nervous system. The sympathetic nervous system prepares the body for emergencies. It is responsible for the fight-flight responses of the body, such as pumping adrenaline, increasing heart rate, and slowing down non-essential systems, such as the digestive system. The sympathetic nervous system is crucial for the maintenance of life. The parasympathetic nervous system is the balance to the sympathetic. It returns body systems to normal after sympathetic stimulation. The vagus nerve originates in the medulla of the brain and innervates a large portion of the body, including the neck, thorax, and abdomen. It has roles to play in both the sensory somatic and autonomic parts of the peripheral nervous system. However, polyvagal theory refers almost exclusively to its role in the parasympathetic part of the autonomic nervous system. Essentially, Porges identified that the vagus nerve has 2 distinct parts which perform the same role in quite different ways, and these 2 sections operate in a hierarchical manner. The ventral vagus is the section that runs from the brain to the heart, and it has a myelin sheath surrounding it, which allows for the efficient movement of neural messages. This portion of the vagus nerve is responsible for maintaining the body's functions when it is in a safe environment. It also impacts upon our ability to engage socially. We will look further at its function in the next video. The dorsal vagus is the section that extends below the heart and diaphragm. This portion of the nerve is non-myelinated. It does not have the sheath that promotes quick, clean movement of neurological messages. It is this part of the nerve that is activated when stress or trauma levels reach such a level otherwise unsustainable and initiates shutdown of the body for self-preservation, such as fainting or disassociation. Again, we will look at the dorsal vagus in greater depth in the coming video. So we can see that both sections of the vagus nerve serve to calm the body, but they achieve that goal through quite distinctive means. When it comes to polyvagal theory, it actually contains 3 stages. The first stage is the ventral vagal stage, which is crucial to social engagement and the maintenance of homeostasis, and is only engaged when the person feels that they are in a safe environment. The second stage is the engagement of the sympathetic nervous system, which is active defense. For example, the fight, which may look like anger, rage, or irritation, and flight, which may look like panic, anxiety, or fear. The third stage is the dorsal vagal stage, which is passive defense, which you can think of in terms of freeze or collapse or disassociation. We will explore the functional outworking of the polyvagal theory in the next video and have a look at how our understanding of it can inform the practical tools and strategies we have in dealing with stress and trauma. So we've just had a look at our nervous system and the way it is organised, the place the vagus nerve has within that, and some of the roles that it plays as well. We've also just had a brief look at polyvagal theory and how it relates to the vagus nerve and the autonomic nervous system. We'll have a look at polyvagal theory in greater depth in coming videos, and especially how we can use it to help ourselves and those around us. I look forward to seeing you then.